Once again, I'm with Damian, who people liked our video last time, and it's really fun to talk to you. So, okay, you had a topic suggestion you wanted to discuss. What was it?
So we can talk about self-defense and especially about self-defense against knife example because this topic is really interesting and
Controversial.
controversial. Yeah.
I have a very dry opinion about it. It's black or white for me.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, for me, there's okay. First, about self-defense, you do not learn self-defense. You learn
Yeah.
how to fight.
Yes.
And also, okay, well, there's more I have to say about it, but just dry opinion. Number two is about the knife defense, which is the craziest stuff. Like, oh, in this fighting community, martial arts community, the most stupid thing is the knife defense. There is no such thing as knife defense. This does not exist. You
it's
can
too
maybe
fast you can when you see knife, it's already too late.
all you can do is try to survive. If you're lucky, you will survive. There is no such thing as knife defense. People teaching knife defense is ridiculous. If I have to teach someone knife defense, I'll tell them, look, run away. That's it. Or the only way you can defend against a knife is if you also have a weapon. It can be a stick or
longer than knife.
it has to be something that's gonna keep him away from you. Anyway, this is a very complicated subject, but yeah, you can talk about it to give me your opinion.
Yeah, my opinion is exactly the same. Like, is something like self-defense against knife doesn't exist, and in my opinion, the people who make a seminars of self-defense, example like weekend with self-defense, example, and they showing the some self-defense against knife. I think these people should get some punishment or something because, humans are stupid by nature. So if you tell them that now you can survive because you know this technique, they're going to think like this, and they're just going to get killed because they believe that, okay, I was on this weekend with self-defense, so now I know how to survive.
Actually, all of these
try to do this.
Yes. It's regarding all type of seminars. People don't understand what a seminar is for. A seminar is when you already practice a martial art or a combat sport. A seminar is like a short training camp where you get some ideas and
you can exchange ideas with another.
Ideas and train with other people you're not usually training with. That's it. You're not going there to learn everything and become a fighter from just doing. Even if you went to seminars every weekend, this is not training. This is bullshit. It's not training. Seminars do not work for developing skills. They only work for getting ideas. And if you go to a technical seminar, refining some techniques, things like this. This is all of the seminars I've been to where I've been to a lot of seminars, but they're not the self-defense bullshit. They're always like technical seminars where you talk about techniques and things you should improve, and they show you
some strategy in the fight, something like this.
You go with knowledge, and they give you some little tips and things that you have to work on. Or I also went to a WACO the World Kickboxing seminar, which was simply some champions from different types of kickboxing were explaining the rules and some exercises. That's it. That's a seminar. It's not I go to a self-defense seminar and I can fight in the street. Especially for people who have no skill or training. A lot of people think they will go to a seminar or 2 or 3 days.
And they're going to know how to...
And after that, they're fighters. This is bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Like DKU, right?
This Jeet Kune Do guy.
Like you say, he should be punished. This asshole doesn't have classes. All he does is seminars. How can you just do seminars and not be he's not a real teacher? He just does seminars to get some money. And what do people get from the seminars? I don't know.
Make cool videos on YouTube so people think that he's like a god.
Yes.
But untouchable.
Yes. It's just nonsense. It's like parlor tricks. You don't really learn anything from just going to seminars.
Actually, about this self-defense against knives, I know the story from my ex teacher. He was like he worked in military, and his friend, he was a guy who teach another guys how to protect yourself against a knife, and you never guess how he died because
Okay,
of knife.
I have an idea. Yes.
Yeah, because of knife. So the guy who teach another people how to survive in this kind of situation, and he probably knew all the tactics, all magic tricks,
Mhm.
and yeah. So this kind of things I think should be not allowed to teach in this kind of seminars, like for people who never trained anything before. Of course, this kind of seminar could be like this, but without making this specialized techniques,
Mhm.
just can give you tips how to, I don't know, escape or just look out for your like the biggest
Yeah, your
organs.
vital organs and like
Yeah, it's
Actually, it's like
important.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we were talking about this off camera the other day. Okay, and I learned this when I was really young. I was talking about knife fighting with my father, and he told me, look, everything you see in movies is bullshit. What you should do is if you're ever in the street and someone has a knife and you cannot run away, you grab your jacket or whatever you have and you like wrap it around your arm and use it as a
Yeah.
shield. If you have a belt, take off the belt, use that as a weapon. And this, he told me, just comes from in Argentina. We have something called the gauchos,
Mm.
which was in the colonial times when the Europeans came to colonize South America. The people working in the countryside in Argentina were gauchos. It's like cowboys, but the Argentinian version, okay? And there were a lot of aboriginal people in the border with Chile. There was many like what you would call Indians, aborigines,
Mm-hmm.
and they would like come and fight to kill each other to get the cows and everything. So they actually knew how to fight with knives. They had a lot of knife fights. So
Yeah.
there's actually people who keep the tradition alive. I'm going to see if I can find a video of this to show you. But gaucho knife fighting is based on, they had a poncho, which is like for the cold weather, a very thick. Have you ever seen Mexicans? They have something similar, like the typical Mexican
Yeah. It's like this
poncho.
kind of.
It's
Yeah.
like, I forgot how you say it in English, like a blanket, but it's very thick. It's for
Yeah.
cold. Yeah, they use this as a shield. They would wrap it around, use it as a shield, and then fight. It comes from there. That's like the minimum you can do is just try to get something to protect yourself. But all this bullshit where you grab the guy's hand and like take it off and like kill him with his own knife, and this is movie stuff.
It's
It's
just
not.
too perfect
Yeah,
to make this real.
yeah. I've seen that a lot in Sistema and other like strange things. You
Yeah.
you need a weapon to fight with a weapon, or at least some kind of shield or something. Sorry, you were saying something before, and I interrupted you.
I don't remember.
Okay,
But
I found the. Let me see. I haven't seen this video, so I think this should be. But I just look for like esgrima criolla, which would be. See, this is a very simple. They're just showing very simple idea of what it should be like. Those are not actually the knives that Gaucho used. The Gaucho knives were really big, and we still use them
like
for
matches.
barbecues here. Yeah, but this is the idea: using something to protect yourself as a shield.
Yeah, you can also use just backpack or something what
Yes.
you have with you.
Exactly, but that's the idea. See, they would just wrap this, and they can also use this. The poncho was kind of heavy. I was gonna say that they can also use that, like to get on your face and stuff like that. But this is more or less the traditional way that the Argentinian cowboys used to fight with knives, the gauchos.
Yeah, this look interesting actually.
Yeah. So some people keep this tradition alive still in Argentina. They teach you a little bit, but yeah, it's not just like you have nothing and you take a guy's knife. This is bullshit. Even this, if you fight like this, you're still going to get cut. If there are knives, people are going to get cut. It's impossible. You're not going to go out there like perfect. You're going to bleed. Knives are extremely dangerous.
Yeah, because they are so small and so fast. Just like normal punches with hands. When you make like even just friendly like touch sparring with your friend, you always he going to touch you.
Yeah.
The same. Just put knife inside in
And
your
the
hand.
knife, a punch, you needed to do like heavy contact and like full. A knife, you just need to like touch a guy like this. It's cut.
Yeah.
The knife is sharp. You just need to like touch a little bit. You can go really fast like this, and you cut him. It's almost
And
impossible.
actually, this trainer, he also said that the skilled knife fighter, I don't know how I can call him. They always, when they make one strike, when they come back, they sliding. So they make like one move, and this is like two cuts. Like one is like he's
Yes,
going to stab you, and later he cut you. So
that's why like most of the swords have always been designed with some curve,
yeah,
so that you can slice when you take it out.
yeah, exactly.
That's the idea, so that it's not stuck. It doesn't stay inside. You can slice off. That's why they have the curve. So yeah, but also, you know, when you see this knife defense, they always come like this, like
Yeah,
really stupid, like
kind of like with
like a,
demonstration Aikido, like
yeah, like a robot. Just all the body really stiff. Move one arm and very slow. So yeah, of course, I go like this. I block it. I take it off. Very easy. But in reality, no one will come like that. If they want to stab you and kill you, it's going to be really fast, and they're going to throw many stabs. It's
yeah,
not.
exactly. Actually, I saw some videos like some guy makes some I don't know project, like he asked people in the street if he can try to stab him or something. I don't remember who it was, and because this was some time ago, and yeah, people when example you will give me knife and say okay, try to stab me, and if you did it I will give you money. I will just and he can protect himself. If I would like to kill him, like even in this scenario,
Mhm.
I would just run on him, like just try to press on him. Doesn't matter if he hit me one or two times, but I can take these two punches. But if I start just run to him and just stabbing him, doesn't matter. But in this movie on YouTube, these people, because they don't know him, and I think they try them best. They try to do some fencing stuff, like because they do this like training or some I don't know trial.
Mhm.
But if you say like try to kill me, I would just run on you with this
Yeah,
knife. I would
but
not try to do some
yeah,
fancy stuff like
but also
fencing.
a normal person who never trained anything, he's not going to go like this. He's going to try to cut you like this and stay away from you, even if you don't know how to use a knife. People know like this cuts, so I'm going to just keep this far, and it's like a stick. Even if you don't know how to like fight with a bow, but you have a stick, you're going to try to be far away, and like it's it's just natural. Even an untrained person with a knife is extremely dangerous. So
I think it's like three ways uh, with like these knife fighters,
mhm.
like guy who just get the knife and try to scare you that don't come closer to me,
Mhm.
and you can see that this guy don't want to hurt you. He just don't want allow you to hurt him.
Yeah,
And second option is like he have a knife that maybe he want to attack you or rape you or something.
yeah,
Like he is like aggressive to you, but still he don't want to kill you. And third option is like he want to kill you.
yeah,
And in this option is the most dangerous because he just going to
yeah.
run to you. And yeah, because about this things that somebody have a just knife to protect himself, not to attack somebody.
Mhm.
I know the story from my taekwondo teacher from his young time. He he told me like he was some kind of gang. He tried to like in old time in Korea they tried to fight him and one guy took a knife and he said that when he was young he was stupid because he didn't feel the fear in his head, and when he saw this guy with knife he don't run away, he just ran to him, and this guy was afraid because he didn't expect this kind of reaction.
Yes.
So he dropped the knife and ran away because he have a just knife to like to scare people, not to kill people.
Well, he was
And
lucky. He was
yeah,
lucky.
yeah. And he said like he was stupid when he was young, but yeah, but it's funny story that yeah this can happen.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Well, yeah. That's with knife, but the any weapon defense, like guns, everything, it's all the same. If
yeah,
someone has a weapon, and you cannot run away, just forget it. it's very almost impossible you're going to get out of there alive unless you're like special military forces and you're trained every day.
Yeah.
Like
And
those
or
guys
if
train
you're like
every.
a tank.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I always say with self-defense. Self-defense courses, they teach you some like situation. Okay, this guy throws a hand, then I do like this, I block him, and then I counter, and if he does this other thing, I do that, like some kind of formula.
Yeah.
Fighting is not like that. Violence is not like that. It's different when you practice a martial art or a combat sport and spar every day. You learn to react to the movements of your attacker, and you learn to get hit, because the average person, when they get punched in the face, they get shock. They freeze, or they get really scared and they paralyze.
Well, this is what's happened a lot with Wing Chun guys.
Yeah. So like, or you can't even, if you're not used to having, even if you have beautiful technique, if you're not used to having punches thrown to your face, your eyes will close, you'll flinch, you'll look like this.
Yeah.
It's just natural reflex. It's reflexes you have to train to change. So yeah, you need to train sparring every day. That's the only way to learn self-defense or fighting. There is no self-defense, it's fighting.
Yeah.
And
actually, it was some time ago on Facebook, it was something about some MMA woman who beat up his opponent like on the street or something like this. And this is actually the best self-defense is just train martial arts. Not train, not go for these courses. Yeah, just fight.
Yeah, self-defense courses is just quick cash grab. Yeah. It's like a business. It's like I teach you how to drive a car by playing Gran Turismo on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It looks like you know how to drive, but when you put you in a real car, you don't know what the hell you're supposed to do there. It doesn't matter if I play a flight simulator on my computer. If you put me on an airplane, I cannot pilot that shit. You got to learn how to do the real thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But people really, this is a problem. Like you say, a lot of human beings are just naturally stupid. They honestly believe that they do this seminar or course and they can fight. Actually, I've seen it a lot. I see it all the time. People who go to Krav Maga or these kind of things, and I see how they train, and it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's really embarrassing what they're doing. I look at this, they do not have proper punching technique. They don't spar, and when they try to spar, it's like a mess. It's like, I know that
like this
even actually, sorry, I just want to say something. I think it is worse to learn that than to not learn anything, because
you believe that you can.
And then you learn bad habits. You learn to do things the wrong way. So when you go into a fight, you have like the wrong set of skills that you're going to try to use. Where someone who never trained, he'll just try to use violence. And the guy who just tries to use violence and is not thinking will have an advantage. So sorry,
exactly.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
We're talking about Krav Maga and the bad training and no technique. They don't spar.
What?
So, you see, this
okay, I get it. I saw some videos like when some self-defense specialists, they analyze some kind of fighting on the streets, and was in this movie was some MMA guys who could not do something well because they was trained like sports fight, and this self-defense instructor said that, he could not go out from the situation because he trained only fighting one opponent, blah, 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 blah. And it's just stupid, because I think if you can fight with rules, you can fight without rules too.
Yes. Yeah.
And the instructor, these people who train just self-defense, I think if you put them to this MMA fight, they say, yeah, I want to put my fingers to your eyes.
I was going to talk about that.
And they train just putting on your forehead, and probably in the real situation, they have this habit to put this on your forehead, not on the eye. I can say that probably it's going to be like this because they train this habit all the time to the forehead, not to the eyes.
Actually, what I'm going to
psychic. That is difficult to put your fingers to somebody's eyes.
Yeah, but tell me this. We all know, everyone knows that if you put your fingers into someone's eyes, you're going to hurt them. You don't need to train this. You know that. But would you actually do that in a street fight? Would you put your fingers into someone's eyes?
No.
No, me neither. Only a psychopath does that. You have to be
Yeah,
fucking crazy to try to do that. The normal person will never do that. So you go to these self-defense courses and you learn like, yes, put your fingers into the eyes or stab him with your pen in his neck and blah, blah, blah. No one is going to do that because you need to be psychotic to do that. Normal people will like try and they will not be able to actually do that. Putting your fingers through someone's skull, through their eyes, it's traumatizing and insane. Why would I want to do that? If I learn boxing, I just punch the guy in the chin and knock him out, and that's over. And I didn't have to like go into someone's skull with my fingers. It's stupid. Like, again, all this the psychological training that in any case you would have to like train to be crazy if you want to do that. Or the thing is that with contact sports and MMA, martial arts, you are doing psychological training to be comfortable fighting.
Yeah.
So that's why you're going to have an advantage. The average person, when they get into a street fight, it's normal. Even a trained person is going to get adrenaline. They're going to get nervous. The heart is going to start pounding. You're going to have less oxygen. It's going to be difficult. But at least if you're trained in sparring, you will have like good reflexes and you'll be able to think more clearly. The average person paralyzes. And
actually, this is what I always saying about martial arts. Like, because what you learn from martial arts, and this can help you on the street. I think martial arts just give me that I can be maybe a little bit less nervous, and I can have some ideas what I can do. But on the street, there's no rules, so
yeah, it's very random.
So I can just be maybe more calm than somebody who never fight before.
Yes, and there's another super important thing actually, which is the physical conditioning. Professional fighters will tell you technique is really important, but the first person who gets tired loses.
Yeah.
And the average person who goes to these self-defense courses, they do not do any physical training. They just learn some drills and like movements, and then they think they're warriors. When you get into a street fight, you're going to be so nervous and tense that after just 30 seconds, you're going to run out of air. Have you ever seen like angry people fighting on the street? First of all, they throw like this punches.
Yeah.
Never like in the exercises they do. They just throw random haymakers. And second of all, after 20 seconds, they're really tired. They can't even keep their hands up because they're nervous.
They just make just 5 these swings.
Yeah, exactly.
And later they're just like walking and trying to swing, but a little bit lower.
Yes, exactly. So another thing that training properly, regularly, martial arts or a sports, combat sport, you develop a lot of physical conditioning, stamina. So yeah, you do not learn how to defend yourself with self-defense. That's bullshit. You learn how to fight by training regularly, not with seminars or any of that stuff. You got to train 2 or 3 times a week regularly and have like a good physical condition. Do sparring regularly also. Because for me, if you do a martial art but you do not do sparring, you're not a martial artist. You're just a gymnast.
Yeah.
But I have a very black and white opinion, you know.
Yeah. About this self-defense and like putting fingers to your eyes and these psychopaths. Actually, I also know. Actually, a little bit strange, but I think it's nice story. That was one club in Poland when they train Krav Maga, and they get some like difficult teenagers to go in there. But the small things was in this that they could join to this club, but was one but, and this but it was that you have to go 1 time per week to some meeting with one priest.
Ooh.
Who, this is strange, and he teach you about philosophy and sociology, that you can see the difference, like to be, this violence and be good to another person. So this was this small hook that, yeah, you can learn how to fight, but you go here to see the difference, like
Between
that you
right
should
and
not fight everyone.
yeah,
This was actually it's a little bit strange, but you have to go to the priest and to get this kind of sociology, philosophy lesson. But I think this is kind of good way for these difficult teenagers to make them more like less difficult.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is that when you train, also, you know, the spiritual, mental side of martial arts.
yeah,
It's simply because you train regularly and you realize that you do not need to fight anyone to prove anything. Also, you release all your anger and stress in training. Like, those are the psychological benefits. You become
mm,
more calm when you're every day you're getting punched in the face and you're training hard. You stop being angry, or yeah, you do not have like unnecessary aggression if you train properly. That is, of course, there's always going to be bad and crazy people in the world, but for the average person, regular training helps you develop your mind. That's the spiritual side of martial arts. It's just mental conditioning from hard training. But
no, I
also,
have
if you see like professional boxers or MMA fighters, they always in the street. Some crazy person tries to fight them, and they never fight because they don't need to. They don't care. You know, they don't get angry.
you don't have to prove anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if they had to, of course, if Mike Tyson had to fight someone in the street, he would punch him and rip his head off. So, because he's a trained fighter, you have to be trained. This self-defense, I tell everyone, don't waste your time and money on self-defense courses. Don't do that shit. Just join to boxing or something. Do
yeah,
boxing or judo or something like boxing. You or judo. After just a few months, just 2 or 3 months, you can already apply some skills
mm,
if you have a good coach.
yeah.
This self-defense crap, you can do it for years and you're still, for me, it's absolutely useless, honestly. There's no value in the self-defense courses, but this is my opinion from everything I've seen, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I'm not the like master of all the truth. I'm just giving my opinion from my experience and what I've seen.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's the same. Like this is just some kind of magic. Like they try to give you all knowledge in the pill. Like just 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 eat it and you know everything.
Yeah, like you said about the weapons thing, I think it should be just forbidden. I tell this to everyone out there who thinks of joining some course to learn knife defense. Forget about it. It's a bullshit. You can learn eskrima or kali, which actually teaches you how to use a knife. But this self-defense bullshit where you have to disarm someone, it's not going to happen. Forget about it. You're going to get killed. Anyway, do you have
Oh,
anything else to say about this?
actually, one thing is just like what I learned from my this ex coach. He sometimes he showed some stuff like of some from self defense.
Hmm.
What I have not always see in the videos, and I think this should be always. He before he makes some kind of fancy locks or some kind of like this police holdings or something. He always make a shocker punch. Like
Oh yeah,
example,
yeah.
you punch something and he just make a, like a snap in your nose, something like because if I just grab your arm and I start trying to make some lock, you will not give me this.
Yeah.
Why I should give you my arm to make
Yeah,
some lock
there will
and
be
make,
resistance. Yes.
yeah. And he just always when he just grab my hand, second arm just going straight to my
Yeah.
nose. So I have a this 1 second for finish his lock,
Yeah.
and you don't often see this kind of things in the videos. They always just okay, you make straight punch, so I start this, and you're already laying on the ground and
Yeah.
stuff.
Actually, what you're saying, yeah, is key. I always say, look, these locks in Aikido and Hapkido, they work. You just need to know how to use them. You cannot
Yeah,
just like grab his punch and do that. It's not going to work. Like you say, you need to have him distracted or weakened.
yeah,
One of my friends, who's also a black belt in Taekwondo, he also practiced Aikido and Hapkido for a long time. I also practiced Aikido and Hapkido. And we talk about this many times that with good teachers, they will tell you, look, when you want to do like a wrist hold, you got to punch him first or do something either to weaken him or to distract him. The way we
yeah,
learned was simply just punch him in the face or punch him on the bicep or do something to weaken him for a second. And in that moment, you can apply. It's
yeah.
very difficult to do
You have
direct.
to buy these seconds for
Yeah.
yourself to finish your techniques.
Yes. You cannot just like do it out of no. That's the problem. Like it's trained in Aikido is grabbing a punch or out of nowhere. Like that's not gonna work like that.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
also like, even if I want to do grappling, I want to do a chokehold on you. You're not just going to stand there and let me walk around you and like grab you. You need
Yeah.
to find a way to get into that position. It's the same thing. If you can find yourself in the situation where you can grab the guy's wrist and he cannot give you too much resistance, then you can apply it. It does work. You just need to know how to use it, when to use it. But yeah, you're right. You need to like distract him somehow. It's like, I showed you with the thing with the poncho where he,
Yeah, that he's
something like
floating.
that. Some small thing like that will work. On something that really bothers me always about this like self-defense crap, or like some martial arts, they have these like street movements. Same thing, like fingers to the eyes, or like to the throat, or a punch to the balls and thing. This shit does not work in a fight. You try to do fingers to the eyes, you're gonna break your fingers. This is bullshit. It does not work like that.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna hit his forehead or some. You cannot finger jab the eyes. The finger jab is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in any kind of like martial arts. It doesn't work like that. You can, like you say, you can throw your hand just to make him like flinch. But if you try to do a finger jab
directly,
you will break your
perfect.
Yeah, you will break your fingers. Just punch the guy. If you can reach with your hand, why don't you just punch him? It just makes no sense. Anyway, that's one of the things that really bother. Also, people don't just let you kick them in the balls. Like in Kempo, they love kicking the balls. People do not let you kick them in the balls. And some guys, if you kick them in the balls, they just get more angry. So that's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Better to punch them in the jaw or on the liver, or or low kick them or something like that.
Yeah, or this throat. Actually,
Yeah.
once accidentally I hit my friend because he didn't put his chin down, and accidentally I hit his throat, and he was out for a few minutes because he need to breathe.
Yes, that is a legitimate move, the hitting the throat. I've been hit in the throat too by accident.
You told me last time about this taekwondo.
If you hit someone on the throat, if someone asks me, okay, teach me something that works in self-defense, I always tell them like 2 or 3 moves that I know will work, and they're not fancy or strange. Just try to hit them, like put your hand like this, and try to hit him on it would be reverse knife hand, or just like, I don't know how to call this in English, but just try to hit him. Like, it doesn't require a lot of skill. Just hit him on the front of the throat. Even if you do not hit them hard, they will not be able to breathe, and you can run away or something. Or if they're grabbing you and it's like a really serious situation, you can grab the ear and pull the ear. Actually, you can rip it off. This is not very strong. It's very weak. You can just rip the ears off. This about the ears, I learned from a guy called Richard Grannon, who's like expert in. He worked as a bouncer in like the worst pubs in London. He wrote books about like street fighting and stuff. That guy knows a lot of stuff. And he always says, look, if you want to fight if you need to learn how to defend yourself, you only need 2 things, boxing and judo. That's it. With boxing and judo, you can defend yourself. Of course, if you want to add more things to that, if you want to add low kicks and more complex things, and you're good at it, that's better. You get more tools, more weapons. But the basic is boxing and some judo, so that you're always standing up. And I agree with him.
It's some kind of like this judo and boxing is like a tree, and the rest is like the benches.
Exactly.
You can just add some benches extra.
Exactly. So when he said that, I was like, oh, right, this is absolutely correct. You just want to stand up, and like punching is the most efficient way to fight. I'm really comfortable with kicking, but it's after 27 years of training how to kick that I can throw a kick without effort. For the average person in the street, kicking is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about like how some teachers think they're amazing because all their students are like praising them, and they believe, it's like self-brainwash.
Yeah.
This is something I want to talk about. Or people who make their own martial arts. That really bothers me. Even, okay, so I think, for example, I can kick very well because I trained many years how to develop kicking technique. But I know I'm not perfect. Like, I At least I
Yeah.
try not to.
Some people
Yes,
think
I
positive.
try not to confuse myself and think I am perfect, because I'm not. Because I see people who kick better than me, but there's people who think they have reached the like best level, and
Overtop.
yeah, in martial arts, like, people who get wrong ideas or delusion, or like Sergio likes to say, the Dunning-Kruger effect, who think they're better, they think they are better than they really are, or masters who think they're like super amazing when they're really not. But the masters thing,
Level of like God's level.
yeah, but the problem with the supposed masters, I think in many cases, is initially they know they're not so good, some of them, but then they have all these students who idolize them and praise them, and they eventually believe their own story. The human mind is strange like that. People are, we're a little bit stupid sometimes. So
Yeah, this is what he said last time, that
yeah,
humans are from natural.
yeah. Actually, you know what I've noticed? You know what introspection is?
Yeah.
Introspection. Introspection is, intro is inside. Spection is to inspect or to see. Introspection is when a person looks at himself and sees, okay, I have this problem, I should fix this. Like, the average person in the world seems to not have the ability to do introspection, objective, like unbiased introspection, where you can look at yourself and see that you have something you should change or fix. The average person, because of their ego, cannot do this.
Yeah.
It's a super valuable virtue. If you can do some introspection and realize when you're wrong, that's really valuable. But most people can't do it because their ego is trying to defend itself.
And especially like in the traditional martial arts, the masters, they don't try to find the example reason why they do something like this.
Yeah.
They just say, because we did this, my master and master and master do like this.
Yes.
So this is the only way how we should all do this.
Yeah, there's a story that reminds me of this. So there's a little girl, like, with her mother, and they're making some, in the frying pan, they're making some sausages, like they're frying sausages, right? So the mother shows the little girl, okay, this is how we prepare it. You grab the sausages and you cut the tips, you cut them off, and then you put it in the pan. And the little girl's like, okay, but why do you cut the tips of the sausages? And the mother says, well, that's how my mother taught me.
Yeah.
And the little girl says, okay, but why did she teach it to you like that? And she says, I don't know, good question. So she goes, asks to the mother, and the mother says, well, that's how my mother taught it to me.
Yeah.
And they're like, the three of them are like, but why did you do that? Why did she teach it? So they call the great grandmother and they say, sorry, but why do we cut the tips of the sausages? And the great grandmother says, my frying pan was very small, so I had to cut the tips off. So a lot of time, this applies to everything, in martial arts. A lot of the techniques in the kata and everything, they don't really know the actual application or why they do things a certain way, but they keep repeating it.
Yeah, actually, I don't like it, because when I train something, I like to. I am this annoying student who asks questions.
Yeah, but me too.
Why we do this? And sometimes they say, because we have to do like this. And you could just make up the story, so you can just tell me what you think of why we do like this. Not like because somebody said we have to do like this. I don't know. I think I would be more happy if he just make up some story, and I can say, no, it's not like this. Then he said, because
but me
we
too.
do like this from my master, and this is how they do in the old time. But now this kind of thing doesn't work anymore, so why we should do this, and we cannot change this. And I think martial arts, like everything in our days, should go forward, so should develop something. Don't
should
stick
evolve.
in the roads and just be here. Because some martial arts, they're like a close, they are complete, and they don't want to develop anymore. And everything should go forward. Everything.
But
you cannot stay in the one place.
there's two problems. One is that they do not evolve, or simply that the teaching has become confused or watered down so many generations that it's not what it was originally. It has, and no one realizes, so they keep doing it wrong. Like most of the blocks in karate are not really blocks. You know, this kind of thing is not actually a block. It's like arm bars and like leverages and wrist locks. A lot of movements are hidden in this, which looks like a block. But this is, if you think about logical, this is much slower and longer than just a punch. So I could never block a punch like that in real time. It's actually grabbing, one of the possible ways is grabbing the arm and then doing like a elbow lock like this. This is one of the possible things. And this one, for example, this is actually a neck choke, the rising block. You grab him by the shirt or the arm, pull him down, and then with your forearm to the neck. That's one. It's like a judo, you know, the judo choke like this. On the gi, it's that. These are possible applications, okay? It's not really blocks. For blocking, you just parry with your hands or whatever.
Once I were in some karate class, and they did blocks, not like this one, but this was more like almost like this. So how you can see, this cannot protect me anyway, any like this. And if you make even this kick, this axe kick, no axe kick, axe kick,
axe kicks.
Yes, so even this, you cannot hold it like protect yourself because you're going to get punched in your forehead.
Yeah, you should never try to block an axe kick. That's just stupid.
but sometimes they say like you might just block because this is for this kind of punch.
It would break your arm.
But this was like this, not like this or something. It was like this. That for me, this doesn't look like a block. And I asked him, why we do like this? Because you're going to know this later. But I want to know this now.
When you are older and you start asking why, then you will know.
And later, I stopped trying this because I was annoyed about this teacher. And my friend who was there, they said like, because later this block, it was actually not a block, it was a punch. It was kind of,
my God. Why are you punching? Michael Jordan, a giant.
Yeah, and still is like, what you want to post like Superman on the pictures or what? It's even more stupid than before.
There's many movements that they teach you something that doesn't make any sense at all.
And when you ask why, they even don't know why.
There is
I like to ask why.
There's a really good channel that I like that analyzes like these kata techniques, bunkai. It's called Karate Culture. Do you know this channel? I really like this. I'll show you. These guys are excellent.
Send it to me later so I can.
I follow it. They don't upload very often, but I follow these guys. Look at this one, Karate Culture.
Okay.
I really like these guys. Also, they're very nice guys. You can see it. So let me see if I can. I think, okay, hold on. All of their videos are great, but I want to, this is karate. I think they show some examples here. They're trying to go to the roots of Okinawan karate. There's a lot of.
Oh, I think I have seen these videos with this guy.
There's a lot of things. They analyze the kata, right? And they try to find the use of the movements. There's grappling and other. They're not the first. I've seen many guys before, channels that analyze the kata like that. So, but they do a really good job at this. I think these guys are in Canada.
But I think I have seen videos of them, but I didn't follow. I don't follow them.
I would have to find the. There's actually where they grab like movements like the block and stuff, and they start analyzing. But I would have to look for it. Anyway, you can check it out later if you have time. If you're bored, go to Karate Culture. Those guys are great.
Yeah, I will take a look.
Anyway, we were actually, our original topic was that a lot of masters, they're like bullshitters, but a lot of them, it happens a lot with like fake martial arts. I think the guys on top, the guys who make the fake martial art, of course they know it's bullshit, but their students become brainwashed and they really believe it. The guys on top know it's just a business, but the guys on bottom, it's like Scientology church.
Yeah.
Of course, the guys who are like the director and running that stuff, they know this is just like brainwashing and business. But everyone under them is like a zombie. They're totally brainwashed. It happens a lot in a lot of these fake martial arts. So you know what a pet peeve is? In English, the expression pet peeve is something that when you see this, it always bothers you. Some specific topic or thing that annoys you a lot. One of my pet peeves is people creating their own martial arts. I've practiced martial arts since I was 11 years old. I'm 39 now, and I practiced many styles. And I still think I know I have to learn a lot and develop skills. And I would never think, okay, I know so much, I will invent my own martial art, which is better than everything. I would never think that. That's fucking stupid. That's just stupid. It's like I learned a little bit of first aid, and then I want to create a new type of medicine. It's absolutely stupid. So what I notice, people who create their martial art, except very rare cases, the only two I can think of right now that I do respect from the West are Sambo, which is judo. Experts in judo modified it, so they were specialized in it. They had a very Sambo I respect. And then these are modern art, right? And the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, also they were specialists in Jiu-Jitsu. They just modified it. It's not like a new martial art per se. It's just a modified version.
Actually, about this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was talking with my poor judo teacher, and he said that maybe this came from the Kosen judo.
Yeah,
it's like ground fighting judo, and when this ambassadors of judo was sent to the world, one maybe who really liked this style get to Brazil and they get this one. But Kano, he would like to make this more
special
how it looks now.
Yeah, actually that's
he don't want to make this is judo, so they make this come back to jiu-jitsu, and because it was in Brazil, to make Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I don't know if the story is real, but I just was like,
all of judo and jiu-jitsu come from the same root. Anyway, those are just
sorry.
It's okay. I was giving two examples of modern martial arts that I respect, but everything else, Western martial arts, whenever someone makes a new art, they tell me, okay, I founded a new art. I immediately think this guy's an idiot. Whatever you invented is shit, because you cannot make anything new, and you would need to be an expert in 2 or 3 arts to be able to combine them and make something new that's worth anything.
Or do exactly the same things, but by different names.
Yeah, which is what they usually do.
Yeah.
In Argentina, unfortunately, we also have a few like fake martial arts, and most of them is just taekwondo with a different name. Like really low level, right? Usually guys who make a new martial art, there's 2 types of guys. One is the guy who was so bad at his martial art that he decided, okay, I'm going to make my martial art and be the grandmaster, like we were saying about the tsunami, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one, and that's because of ego. They want to feel like they're good at something.
They want to be on the top.
Yes. And the second type, which is the most common, is some asshole wants to make easy money. So he makes up some fake martial art with some fake story. Like, I learned from this master in the mountains. I'm the only guy who knows this deadly art. And you cannot research because this is all fake story. So no one can know if it's true or not.
Because this martial arts is from the, passed from mouth to mouth. You cannot read about this anywhere.
I went to China in a mountain, and an old guy with beard teach me this magical fighting style. You cannot find him. He only lives in the mountain. So this kind of asshole who just wants to make money, and they create like this church of martial arts, and this is the most common one. It's just a scam. It's just for money, and of course they feel like they're very important because they're the grandmaster. It's ego and money. These are the only 2 reasons. Why would anyone want to invent a martial art? Just dedicate yourself to training martial arts or a style that you feel good. Why do you have to make a new one? it's because money or ego. There's no other reason or motivation.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think. This is what I think. Like, even if I trained martial arts my entire life, I would never like invent. Okay, let's say I'm like, I get to 60 years old after training karate and taekwondo all my life. Okay, I would teach karate or taekwondo. Maybe I do some things different. I'm still teaching the same thing. I just put a little bit of my experience in it. I change something, but I would not call it a new art. It's just the way I teach.
You know, all like black belts or practitioners of martial arts, they always will give some small piece of yourself to the art.
Exactly.
And if you, for example, you open your school, you're going to teach this what you have learned, plus these things what you think is good, and you gonna to add this to this base.
Exactly.
Because this is I told you before. I don't know if you recorded or not. This is what I get. What my father told me. Like, when you get a black belt, you know all the basics. After this, you start your way of martial arts, because this is all the program when you get black belt. After this, you develop your own like way of how you can use this what you have learned. It was like what my father told me, and I think this is true. I know maybe you think differently, but
no, it's true. It's true. The way I see it, when you reach a black belt, it means that you have technical efficiency. You have developed like good technique and understanding, and also like good skills. There has to be like a level of expertise when you're a black belt. But after that is when you actually start. It's like when you get a driver's license. You learn how to drive. When you get the driver's license, that's like Shodan or first dan, like black belt. After that, you actually do have to like improve your driving skills, with anything.
And about this, what you said, that you will not call yourself like a master or something. Mm-hmm. It's the same how I describe my channel. I am not a master, not a sifu, not a champ or something. I'm just Damian. I can just share this what I think. Mm-hmm. I will not call myself. I never will call myself that I am master, because I know somebody probably is better than me somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. There's always someone better. It really bothers me when I see some Western guy call himself Soke, which is a founder of a martial art, like the father of martial arts. It's very common, like especially in the USA and Latin America. Some guy who invents some shit style like Konseikan or some bullshit like this that actually exists, and it's bullshit. And this like some guy called William Smith or Ricardo Perez or something, like some common schmuck, some average Joe. He's a like Soke who invented a martial art. And it's always, when you look at this supposed martial art, it's like some guy watching too much Power Rangers. It's nonsense. But people
or no martial arts from YouTube.
Yes. Or there's a lot of like Frank Dukes, all of these people. You go online and you check their resume, their experience. 10th Dan in jiu-jitsu, judo, boxing, and a lot of styles that no one knows. They're like 10 Dan in millions of things. Like, what is this bullshit? Just to be black belt in one martial art should be like 5 years. In 15 arts, it's impossible. Yeah, even if all you do is train all day, every day, you're not gonna be a grand master 10 Dan in like 10 or 15 arts. That's absolutely ridiculous. Always these guys they're kind of crazy or have mental problems, because not only they create their own martial art, which is bullshit, they also need to make themselves look super badass. So you don't even need to make all these lies. Why do they think that they have to make up all these lies? It's not necessary. Okay, just make your strange martial art, but don't make up all this bullshit. It's just people who cannot stop lying.
And later when you ask them about like proving his skills, he disappeared. Exactly. I'm busy now. I cannot because of something. I have seminars. I have to give some seminars from self-defense.
You do have cases where they actually think they're super badass. They believe that they're really like tough and amazing, and then they create some bullshit martial art, and they really think they're amazing. That happens too, where they have some delusion that they don't realize that they're not masters. I don't know. I do not like the term grandmaster. It just sounds weird. Okay, master I can understand. It's just, it sounds weird when you say it in English.
Yeah.
Japanese or Korean, or Chinese, it's different. What the word signifies, a teacher. It's more like teacher, But recently, I was telling you, some guy in Mexico, for example, who has a lot of followers on YouTube, he decided to create his own martial art, and he bases the moves on lizards, like iguanas and, like, I don't know, frogs or whatever. And his explanation why he's doing this is because he likes lizards. It's like this kid, I like turtles. Or have you seen that? I like turtles. So let's make a martial art about lizards. What the hell? This is like the dumbest shit I've ever seen. Okay, I will make a martial art about sharks because sharks are scary. So the movements is me just biting someone's knee or biting their leg or someone's. This is
maybe
cool.
they're going to learn how to, look for different directions,
Yes.
like you can see many opponents in the same time, like just
Or change the color of your skin for camouflage, like a chameleon.
some kind of
powers.
ninja stuff,
Yes. It's really ridiculous. Like ninjutsu, I know many people from Bujinkan, if they see this, they will hate me, but this is the truth. Ninjutsu never existed as as a combat style. It never existed. It's modern invention because of marketing of movies and stuff.
Yeah,
Ninjas were not warriors. They were just sailors or peasants, people from the town. They're just getting paid some money to, like, listen and get information, or in very rare cases, maybe like poison someone and kill them with poison. No fighting, none of this shit. Nobody dressed in black, none of that stuff.
I think this was kind of like, I know, if ours, like partisans type of people, that they are like a part of the something, but no one knows that they are.
Yeah, that's the whole
like normal people who just try to help or try to earn money.
Yeah, they were just earning money by listening and getting information. Or in very strange cases, like some woman would sleep with a guy and poison him in his sleep, or someone would put poison in someone's food, stuff like that. There was never any fighting and none of that shit. That's nonsense. But people who practice ninjutsu really believe the ninja story. And the Japanese know that ninjutsu is bullshit, but they use it for tourist attraction and stuff like that. It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
It's fun. Of course, ninjas are fun. They're awesome, but that's not reality. But the guys who created ninjutsu, I think I've read a lot about it, but the original guy was maybe in the 70s or 80s, was some Japanese guy who saw that the ninja was very popular in movies. So he didn't market it for Japan because people know there it's bullshit. He marketed it for Americans in the West. He created like ninjutsu school, and he made this fake document saying that he was the descendant of the real ninja, which is bullshit. It's not real document. Anyway, he started opening Bujinkan or other schools, but it's all nonsense. It's just got some karate and like aikido and other shit. He mixed it and created this bullshit stuff.
He was the founder of making this fake martial arts.
I know everyone who practices ninjutsu is going to be angry and like, no, you're wrong, blah, 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 and insult me. But research it. Like, the problem, okay, you know what the real problem is? People do not research like in depth. When I started learning martial arts, first it was aikido, and then it was taekwondo, and then I did capoeira, other things. Every time I learn a new style, I go and research it really deeply. I look like everything, the good and the bad, the history. It's really important to know where things come from. And before, it was not easy. Like 15 years ago, there was no internet. I had to actually like buy books and talk to people and and I did all this work. I did all this research. Nowadays, you can go online and there's a lot of information available. But people do not do this. They just believe whatever stories, and they just accept anything. Like Sistema Spetsnaz, they never train military forces. That's bullshit. But people believe this story, If they research it, they will see that this is not true. Sistema is just bullshit. It's like, you know what pigeons are, right? It's the movement of pigeons when they're horny. They're like moving like this. That's it's based on the movements of pigeons. I guess the
No,
guy like
somebody take moves from the lizard, somebody from the pigeon. You
yes,
know.
exactly. This is like a trend apparently. Sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm not letting you talk, but
No,
this
no,
subject makes me crazy.
I can listen. No.
This subject makes me crazy. I really hate it when some assholes like just makes up some new style out of nowhere, pulls out of his ass.
And the worst thing is that normally they just take something what already exists and make this worse.
The guys who could not be good at that style, so they just make their own version of it.
Yeah.
This,
So
I have to look for the tsunami thing. Like you showed me the tsunami thing. While you talk, I will find it so I can share with people. That's
I like this kata to when this guy make like a really funny moves. Yeah. And this punching bag on the in the middle of the sports hall.
I've seen some kumite. It's just guys going like this. It's
and also I don't know if you have seen the videos like they spar with another like with Tang Soo Do or some another martial arts.
They do? Well, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they always get beat up.
Yeah, of course they always get their ass kicked because they don't know how to fight. It's bullshit. It's like putting a ballerina against a Kyokushin guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can move her legs around, but she's not a warrior. Okay, hold on. I will. This is okay. Tsunami karate is. You can talk. You told me about this, so you explain to people what it is while I show. This is tsunami karate. I am embarrassed of the Argentinian crap, like back when other styles that are shit.
I'm
but
embarrassed
you have this shit.
Yes, I'm
Poland
embarrassed
has
of
that stuff too. Apparently, every country has some shit. So what is this that we're looking at? Can you explain this?
Yeah, this is how the same story how you told me, like the guy who probably he could not go that high in karate. He decided to make his own karate. This, but I'm not sure about the story. But this is just passed from mouth to mouth to me. I just hear it, and I don't know if the story is real. But this is what I know. This guy could not go that high with his rank, so he decided to make his own karate, and he created this one. This is Polish karate. And yeah, they have a really weird kind of competition. This is like part of competition, like fighting with punching bag. They have some kind of like a tour fighting. Like I make a move, and I'm standing next, like 2 meters from you, and I make a move, and you have to make a contra, like like in the games, like it's my round, it's your round, it's my round, it's your round, and they don't touch each other. I think this I cannot see. This second.
Yeah, it's just my. I have to. Okay, now I can show you. Hold on.
Yeah, but this. I know what I can say, but because I didn't go that deep with this because this was just embarrassing.
So this is from like kumite fighting, but from a distance. Like you have to react to what the other guy.
It's like I make a move and you make a contra or something. Yes, it's kind of silly, I think.
Yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous. Plus, the movements are so strange. This is not real.
Yeah, and all of them they don't have a balance.
Yeah, there is no technique.
Out of balance.
This is just like watching Ninja Turtles, and okay, you're a black belt now.
Yeah.
No technique. This is taking things from movies.
Actually, I know this martial arts because my friend he told me like Damian, we can become black belt just week or 2 weeks, and we can be a black belt in karate. He sent to me these videos and.
Sorry, this guy is hilarious. Plus, they're shouting and like being like super aggressive about it. Oh my God! If Joe Rogan sees this, like the guy would laugh. This is just craziness. This honestly, it looks like people with mental problems. No intelligent human being would do this. This is wrong.
Yeah.
I've actually seen contact fighting, but it's super bad, like really sloppy. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, maybe this was this one what I told you, like they fight with another.
No, but this is between tsunami guys. There's one guy, when I was looking at this, there's one guy that uploads. It's really hard to find, actually. I think they're embarrassed because they know it's bullshit, so people don't normally upload this stuff. But
actually, I have seen some kind of graduation movie or something like this, and I saw like a lot of like Japanese people who wear the like a mask or they make some mirrors or something. Like I think if this is not embarrassing for Japanese people, like it's not like a punch in the honor of Japanese culture. I don't know. I would feel embarrassed if I have to come and represent these things.
So these are black belts, but the fighting, there is no technique, nothing. Let me see. Here's another one. I think these guys think they are like badass warriors. This doesn't look so bad, but if you analyze it from a technical point of view, it's really sloppy. And if they're black belts, and they're using a lot of body armor and stuff, this is just, I don't know. This does not look so bad, but it is actually pretty bad.
Maybe it was, you know, like full contact, but not really, because you have this organ protection.
No, but this guy actually has some really embarrassing videos. I have a lot of ASMR videos there, by the way, because I cannot sleep at night. It does help. Hold on. I think this was the funniest, because there's a lot of funny ones. I already put a dislike on this. Let me see. I think some of these are so bad. Let me see. Yeah. These are supposed to be black belts, but this is super sloppy. They fall down by themselves. They throw their hands all over the place.
You know, this looks like a, you know, it's aggressive. Yeah. And this could be more like a street fight.
Yeah. This is like two drunk guys.
With gi.
It's just two drunk guys came out of the bar and fighting over some girl. That's what it looks like. But yeah, the other stuff was even funnier. The stick thing from a distance and all that, that's real. The fighting with the what do you call it, with the bag, that's real. Like, look at this one is hilarious. I've seen this one.
This was I think the funniest one.
This is like the kata. The funniest thing is they put so much energy and like intensity into it. Yeah. And the black belts are exactly the same as these guys. There's no difference.
Maybe they train just a few weeks more.
The guy's face is amazing. I really like the expression. Look. When he does the side kick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like this. Yeah. It's funny, but you probably didn't understand, but this guy who recording this video, I can understand because he's Polish. He's just like, what the fuck he's doing?
These guys are assholes. Like, they're not the practitioners. They of course don't know what they're doing, but the guys who make this kind of styles.
Yeah, I think this is the worst thing that's about this guy who is this guy on the chair, who is on the top, and he play like with the door with them, because students, I think, they don't know that this is fake, and I think this probably is, you know, this video or this guy, this chi master who fighting with this MMA guy, and I think probably he was a teacher and he teach something, but he stand up to this fight with this MMA guy, so he believed that this what he do was real. But probably this guy who teach him, and he know that this is fake, probably he would never fight this MMA guy. Yeah, but this guy was just, I think, you know, brainwashed, and he just...
It's shit. If I have to find...
I think in all countries you can find something like this, like makeup, martial arts.
We have a few here, but the tsunami one is the best one, I think.
Actually, I don't know if you have something more. Probably if you search enough, probably you can find some more, but this is what I just know from my friend.
Yeah, I'm surprised though, because Polish people they're pretty badass. They're not, they don't, I know, I'm sure they know that it's bullshit, but people who do this, they probably just know they cannot practice a real martial art. They're too scared or weak or something, so they have to do some Bullshido. So anyway, yeah, I think nobody, especially Westerners, nobody with a logical mind would think of creating their martial art. It's bullshit. Only con artists or people with some kind of mental problem create a martial art. Of course, it still exists. Like, modern martial arts are created, but I only respect them when they're from legit sources. Okay, like my favorite style is actually Kudo or Daidojuku, which is Karate Kyokushin plus Judo together. But the guy who created this was a Kyokushin black belt and also a Judo black belt. And all he did was put them together and create, it's MMA but karate. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Kudo, have you ever seen Kudo? That's my favorite martial art, actually. And I practiced it a little bit in Korea. Like, it's MMA but it's Budo, you know? Okay, I'll show you. I'm using this like sharing thing a lot today. And I discovered it recently. Okay, so this is Daidojuku or Kudo. And it's not like the guy is inventing anything new. He just grabbed two things and mixed them. He's not putting any like strange.
But actually, it's not that I know. I have seen a lot of people who mix judo with karate because these two styles they fit perfectly together.
Yes, exactly. So this is Daidojuku Kudo. It's Kyokushin with judo, and adding like punches to the face and boxing.
But they're fighting also on the ground, or just
yes, they have ground.
Throw?
Yeah, they have grappling also. They have ground fighting.
This could be also kind of like a Japanese version of Sanda. You know,
yes.
But in Sanda you don't have a ground fighting.
See, so here I'll show you some ground fighting. They have ground fighting, but they have some like rules that if you're too long on the floor, too much time, they just. I don't know the rules perfectly, but if you're too long on the floor, they make you stand up again. Like focus is on stand-up fighting, but they do have grappling. I don't know why he wasn't punching the guy on the head there. I think there are certain rules on the floor. But yeah, this is like a modern martial art that I respect because this is legitimate. You know, this is not bullshit. And it's created by real people with experience in martial arts. But here he is actually punching me. So you do have ground fighting, see? This is, yeah.
It's kind of MMA just with gi.
Yes. It's MMA, but with like martial arts. This I like, see? This has got like martial arts spirit and order to it. It's not just going to they have a structure. You learn techniques, you have belts, you progress. They have a like organized program. So this is my favorite style. But it's very hard to find this in most of the world because it's very new. Russians and Japanese are the best at it. So anyway, except rare cases like this, any new thing created by especially Westerners, it's bullshit. Always like most of these strange schools are in the US or Latin America. In the West, it's full of like bullshit styles. In Europe, there's many too, I found it, but they're just losers who couldn't do it on their own, or they just want to make money by creating some new thing where they are the boss.
Some shortcut.
Yeah, exactly. I don't practice martial arts for money. I practice it for my personal enjoyment and development. And if I do enjoy teaching sometimes, I don't want to do it for money. I would like to do it just as a hobby. Because
on my channel you could see this what I teach this guy some Wing Chun. Like, he just asked me if I can teach it. Yeah. Why not? I don't take any money from it. Just like, okay, I can just make a video for me and you can just train. You can get something, I can get something. And actually I was enjoying this because he asked me about this. So he won't, it's not like somebody push him like some parents push kids to go and train karate because you're going to be a better person.
Mm-hmm. I think it's perfectly fine that if you put your time and effort, people pay you and you're teaching them a skill and stuff, it's okay to get money for it. But if your only focus is money, then everything starts like getting corrupt. You know, you should have some ethics. If I'm teaching you medicine, I'm not going to like make it easier for you. Just give everyone a doctor's title just to make more money. That's bullshit. There has to be integrity and some rules that you have to respect yourself as a teacher. You know, it's fine to get money out of it, but I would like to just do it. If I teach martial arts, just do it as a hobby, not make a living from that. Because I don't want to be like thinking about the money thing. I love martial arts and I want to keep it like that, pure, not make it. These master guys, they just make it a business. But anyway, this is getting really long, so we just wanted to touch on this topic. Thanks.